So guys, what we have here are 3 different blades with 3 different grinds, all out of 01 tool steel. A Randall Model 1 made in the early 2000s, 01 tool steel, and a Sabre grind. Beck WSK, a little over a year old, 01 tool steel, and it has a V grind. And the V grind is both on the draw knife section and the chopping section of the blade. Last up is Origin Knives Woodsman, which is 01 tool steel, but it has a convex grind, as you can see. And the difference with this has a thinner convex grind here and a thicker convex grind on the chopping section. These are the only knives that I own that are in 01 tool steel, and I'm very curious what would happen if I were to do a edge retention test on these between Randall, Beck, and Origin. To do this test, I bought 6 meters of a natural fiber rope. I would like to call it sisal, but I couldn't find exactly what it's made out of. I just know it's natural fiber. And then I found a chopping block lying around and glued a section of cutting board to that. So that will be the surface that I use. I'm going to go through as many sections as I can of this rope, test each knife ahead of time to make sure it cuts through paper nice and easy. And we're just going to go until it cannot slice through regular printer paper. The section of blade that I'm going to use for the cutting is this right here. The same on the Beck, the same on the Origin. Knives are the same steel, but they had different grinds. And for me, I see a difference in performance of each one of those blades as far as edge retention goes. I have what I feel is going on and how they're going to rank out, but I'm really curious to see if using this little rope test to see how long the edges last proves out what I think is happening. Anyway, we're going to find out. It's going to be some fun. Let's go see what happens. Okay, so on the Franken block, I sharpened all 3 knives with a little bit of 600, a little bit of 1,000, 2,000, and then just the green rouge on the leather. Let's see where we're at. Okay, I think I got the sharp. Okay, it should be in focus. Okay, so Randall's sharp. Make this a little bit easier for me to do. Okay. Beck is sharp. And the Woodsman is sharp. Another time proven test. Shaves. Shaves. And shaves. Okay, so that was 60 cuts right in there. And somewhere after 40, I started noticing I was having a harder time pushing through. It still feels sharp as far as that goes, that section, but it's, if you could tell, it was leaving hair on my leg, and if I hit the paper just right, I can get it to cut. Otherwise, it just kind of grabs. So I'm gonna put 60 on this one. Okay, that should be 80 push cuts with the Beck. And if you could tell on the video, it's noticeably harder to push through the material. And that's because of the grind, just because of the V grind. But at 60, it was a lot more work, but it was still sharp. It was still holding its edge. And so I decided to push on through another 20 more to 80. And I really started I really started to notice it dulling towards the end of that and cutting on the paper. If I get the angle of the paper just right and I just kind of touch into it, it'll go in. Other than that, it just kind of rips. So still sharp, but as far as that hair popping slice through the paper, 80 is about it. And like I said, and the biggest thing I noticed was just the grind difference. The saber grind was much easier to push through because it's thinner. The V grind, being much more durable, is much thicker, and so it was a little bit more of a workout to get that done. All right, last knife up. Guys, I just wanted to do a close-up of the rope that I used for this test. I'm not quite sure what those fibers are made from. I just know that they're natural. Looks to be about 4 strands, a double weave, or 4 strands of twist braid is what it looks like. Really tough stuff. Well, that was interesting. It definitely confirmed what I felt was going on since I've been using these 3 knives. The Randall is it's a beautiful grind, classic company, classic blade shape, and definitely a fighting style blade with that saber grind. But I also knew that even though it got very sharp, it dulled fairly quickly. I would have to touch it up a lot more often. So whenever I got on the order for Beck's WSK, I was actually a little disappointed that all he used was 01 because the uses that I've had or my experience with 01 hadn't been that great. It'd been okay, but not outstanding. And so with Dave Beck's heat treat is just so good. And you can see how much longer the edge lasted. Just even with the V grind, just did a wonderful job. And I was super stoked after I got to use the WSK for a while to see how long that edge lasted. Was really happy with it. However, in August when I received the Woodsman, again in 01, I was expecting about the same results. I was hoping for the same results. I was hoping it was as good as the Beck. I don't know what he's done with his heat treat, but as you guys saw at the thin section of the convex, which should have dulled faster, it was easy. I got up to 80 and was like, test it out. It was still cutting through the paper. It was still shaving, and so then I went up to 120 because I just wasn't feeling it dull. Stopped there, and it still was cutting paper. I mean, as long as I was doing that hit right there in the center, it could push right on through better than any of the other 2 blades. It did a really good job and still shaved. So that was kind of what my suspicion was. I felt like while I was using the WSK or the Woodsman that the combination of the heat treat, the steel, and the grind, something just worked and did a really, really good job. So I'm I'm really happy right now. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this interesting. I know this is a lot longer video than normal, but it was just a question that I was curious about, and I thought I'd pass it on along with you guys. Hope you guys are doing great, and stay safe, take care, and God bless.